Hey guys, what's going on? Brady Joker here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys what I watched in October. This was a relatively short month, so there shouldn't be that long, and hopefully the thing didn't happen that happened with August. Let's just pray that that didn't happen. Oh, not October. We're going to be what I watched in September. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Started the month with Mysterious Skin. Good Lord. This is just a disturbing, disgusting, but also beautiful film. Two of the best performances I've seen, probably the two best performances of the month. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is absolutely devastating in this role. And it's crazy that this dude was in 10 Things I Hate About You like 5 years earlier before this, which blows my mind. The movie cinematography is also just super unique. Just so many close-ups on the characters' faces, and it really just engages the audience into the movie, as it engaged me. This is a movie that I thought about for a while. It stuck with me. It's disturbing. Not something to watch for the faint of heart, if I'm being completely honest. I then rewatched Asteroid City. Yep, still one of Wes Anderson's best. I thought that out of all of Wes Anderson's while rewatching them for my Wes Anderson ranking, I thought that Asteroid City was the one that was either going to get better for me or worse, and it didn't. It stayed pretty much the exact same. I love it. It's absolutely stunning. It's so devastating. The characters and their dialogue is so well done. It's just a pretty perfect... Okay, it's not perfect. It's just a pretty amazing film, alright? Alright, I then rewatched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Look, they're on Letterboxd. I'm going to talk about them. So Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is basically a mini-series on YouTube. Each part is about 5 minutes. They're each around, it's about puppets. And it's super amazing. And this first one is probably, in my opinion, the most disturbing. Because that was kind of the point originally, was to just make a disturbing movie. Or a little short film, but then it kind of blossomed into the series that we know, which leads me to, I then rewatched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 2. This is probably my least favorite out of the bunch. Not really anything it does wrong, it's just I don't really like the song. I think it's kind of annoying. And then rewatched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 3. I love this one. So many great moments. I love when Duck just stares blankly into the camera. The ending is great. Great little short here. Then rewatched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 4. Love this one. The ending is arguably the best ending in the entire series. It's so chilling. It's so well done. It's just, the song is a banger, Digital Style has me bopping my head up and down like that. Then I rewatched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 5. This one is not as amazing as the others, but I still really like it. So many amazing moments, though, like the very last shot of Red Guy walking out of the phone booth with the music playing. It's so good. Gives me chills every time I watch it. Duck being eaten alive is such a memorable moment as Yellow Guy pulls a Leatherface and eats his friend. And then I finished it out by rewatching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 6. Obviously, this is the last one, and in my opinion, the best. It's just storytelling at its finest as it wraps everything together in what you can definitely piece together as a very cohesive story. Watch film theory. That's what I did. The switch to real life is so sudden and so abrupt, but yet it feels so real. It feels so amazing. I don't know. I love it. This is just such a great little short film. It's only 8 minutes, and yet it conveys so many great themes. And the whole thing is 24 minutes. And yet it just portrays dreams and failures and manipulation. It's such a good series. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. It's 6 parts. And yes, I have watched the TV show. But yeah. That's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I don't know. Thought I should include it because it's just such like... this is like the 10th time I've watched it, and I never knew that it was on Letterboxd until I looked it up just to see if it was, just to mess around. But it is. And then rewatched I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Nice little cheesy slasher. Characters are fun. It's just a fun little slasher movie, to throw on. It's nothing. It doesn't do anything wrong. In fact, I actually think it does more right than wrong. Obviously there's some dumb decisions. There's some slasher cliches in there, but what are you gonna do? It's fine. Then watched Past Lives, movie of the year. Maybe. I don't know, man. This thing was just absolutely incredible in every aspect. I've never just this was After Sun for me with this year. After Sun was this kind of slow build up to this devastating final 30 minutes. This was kind of just like a slower burn up to a devastating final 30 minutes. And it's just like, it feels so real. It's so real. It's so well done. The acting is so incredible. And they reference Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is my second favorite movie of all time. So of course, it's going to be amazing. I loved it. It's just so personable. All the dialogue feels so, like, it feels like it just takes parts of my life and puts it into the movie, which is just so weird and well done, and it's so beautiful in every single aspect. It's amazing. I then watched After Hours. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while, and I loved it. It's so bizarre. How did Scorsese make this? This does not feel like a Scorsese movie at all. We have such a strong lead performance. Like, this movie is so bizarre and off the wall that it borderline is a horror movie. Like, this movie is terrifying. It low-key is. The stuff that this dude goes through in one night is absolutely terrifying, and I love it. Acting's great. This movie is hilarious, by the way. Surrender Dorothy, like, one of the funniest moments in any movie I've seen, if I'm being completely honest. That is hysterical. I loved it. It's probably in my top 5 Scorsese. I wouldn't put it like above King of Comedy or Goodfellas or Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably like my number 5 right now out of, I think I've seen 10 Scorsese. I'm preparing for Killers of the Flower Moon. I want to rank him by the end of the year, but that's so many movies. Definitely expect Fincher, but yeah, loved it. Loved this movie. I then watched Elemental. Dude, maybe I'm just stupid, but I personally really enjoyed this one. It was just a fun, sweet, endearing movie. I just had a good time with it. It never bored me. The story isn't as, strong as or powerful as some of their others, but I just really liked this little chemistry that these characters had. It was sweet. I just needed this movie. I just really enjoyed it. The animation is stunning. I honestly really enjoyed it. It was one of the better Pixars in the last couple, probably since Luca. Definitely better than the pieces of garbage that was released in 2022. I'll tell you that much right now. And I do want to rank Pixar soon, but that's a huge video that I am just not ready to make right now. I then watched The Hateful Eight. I finished Tarantino this month, and so I'm going to be talking about a lot of Tarantino later this month, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was well done, kind of dragged at times, and I feel like this is one of the movies that is definitely going to fade with time since it's a 3-hour movie, pretty much set in one location. We do have some strong performances. Samuel L. Jackson is amazing in this movie. The dialogue does really work for me compared to some of Tarantino's other films, Pulp Fiction. But, it was a little slow in the first, hour. So I can't really look past an hour, hour and a half that I just wasn't really invested. But that second and a half to third act was just so strong. Really enjoyed it. Great performances. Yeah, one of the better Tarantinos in my opinion. I then rewatched Batman Forever. Look, guys, this was my childhood movie. I don't give a crap what you guys say about me. I love this movie. It's so bad that it's good. Look, I really try not to have those movies where they're so bad they're good, but this one is for me. It's just so bizarre and ridiculous. Everything Jim Carrey does in this movie is hysterical. I love him as the Riddler. It's just such a goofy movie, and I love it. Leave me alone. I then watched Come and See. Yep, this is the second highest rated movie on Letterboxd. And I didn't give it a 5. Blasphemy. I will say, it definitely has parts of it that I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty phenomenal, perfect film, but I'm not gonna lie, it kinda dragged in places. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name correctly, so I'm gonna read it off Letterboxd, but such a strong performance by Alexei Kravchenko. I'm sorry. Uh, Literally such a good performance, bro. This performance is so devastating. He is so good in this role. Just the facial expressions alone that he makes are just so good, bro. Like the last couple shots of him shooting that picture, oh my god. It's great. Cinematography doesn't really do anything for me. It's kind of dull. So is the look of the movie. The look of the movie is very dull, very dry, very bleak, but I think that's the point. The tracking shots in here are really engaging, though. I like those a lot. But yeah, just like a really devastating story that I think was told really, really well done. Liked it a lot. I then watched Jackie Brown. This was the final Tarantino I had to watch, and don't expect the Tarantino ranked. I mean, you can look on my Letterboxd if you want to see the list, but don't expect it because I'm going to wait till next year when his final movie, the movie critic, comes out, or the film critic, whatever it is. Because, like, what's the point of me ranking his movies just to exclude his final movie that's coming out next year? So it's just, I want to wait to rank his movies, so hopefully you guys are still going to be watching by then. But yeah, Jackie Brown was amazing. Okay, maybe not amazing, but it was great. This did something for me that his other movies don't by making his characters a lot more humanistic. Sure, the classic Tarantino dialogue is in this movie that I'm not a huge fan of, but I still really enjoyed just the human elements of these characters. Like, it's just like they feel so real. Their bonds and connections feel so real, and the absolute panic and chaos that ensues trying to figure out who's playing who and who's going to die and live by the end of the movie is just so great. I thought it was great. Great dialogue compared to others movies. I mean, like I said earlier, still some pretty snarky Tarantino dialogue I'm not a huge fan of. I'd say this is probably my favorite antagonist in any Tarantino movie. Samuel L. Jackson's portrayal here is absolutely terrifying. His presence is just so sinister, and I love it. Great movie, honestly. I didn't think I'd like this one. I then rewatched Reservoir Dogs. I'm just going to be blunt. This is my favorite Tarantino. I'm not going to give too much away on my thoughts because I actually want to make a review on this movie because I think this is a near flawless film. And then I rewatched it again a night later. I literally rewatched it for the first time in almost a year, and then the next night I rewatched it again because it's just so good. I love it. Everything about it is pretty much flawless. I love it. Watch it. It's on Netflix, yo. I then rewatched Death Proof. I actually lowered my score compared to the first time. I was just so unengaged in this movie, man. The dialogue scenes are just way too long and dragged out. I know it's to make these characters feel more real and human, but their dialogue just doesn't engage me in the slightest. I don't think it's Tarantino's worst, but it's not far from it. I mean, sure, the last 20, 30 minutes are just amazing. Like, one of the best Tarantino endings ever. But the dialogue is just so bad in this movie in the places where it needed to be good. Performances are all great. I love the final four girls. It's a fun movie, but it's just not one that I really wanted to rewatch. I then watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. This is the first out of the 4 short films that Wes Anderson made and released all at once. The other 3 I have seen, but I watched them the last couple days in October, so they're not going to be in this video. But I loved this film. It's just so perfect in the way that it's able to just have so many themes, so many different subplots and characters all intertwined together in 40 minutes, mind you. It is crazy, and especially when we get to, spoiler alert, Poison, which, like, I don't know how Wes Anderson can do the things he does in this one and then Poison in 17 and 39 minutes. It blows my mind. Wes Anderson is just a master of his craft, one of the best directors out there today. Can't wait for his next film, because Asteroid City was peak. And then I finished out the month with Mulholland Drive. What a weird movie, man. You know, it wasn't very weird, and then the last, 30 minutes was like, okay, what the... Wait a second, but that's Diane, but her name's Betty, what? But I thought her name was Rita, but no, okay. Okay, what's going on, man? What's going on? This was one of the quickest YouTube explained videos I watched. It makes a lot of sense, and it's really well done, and it's really, really well done, but it's just like that first watch. It's also a bit too long. I feel it dragged out just ever so slightly in the beginning. I didn't really like it all that much at first, but then it really started to pick up. But yeah, man, this movie was really good. I've seen 3 David Lynch's, and I've given all 3 of them a 4 stars, so I'm just waiting for him to either do worse or improve. I guess I'll watch Dune next just so I can have one lower than a 4. And that's what I watched in September. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope that you see this video and it's not, cut down like the last one. I really hope so, because, Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want. And I'll see you guys in 2.2.